Let's write a smart contract and deploy it. There's a number of tools that we could use to write the contract, but we're going to go ahead and use an online editor. The name of the editor is Remix. Let me go ahead and enter it here. Remix Ethereum will get you to the right place. Once we land on the page, there are a number of options that we could select. If this is your first time visiting the editor, make sure you choose the Solidity environment. As you can see here, they give you some placeholders when it comes to contracts. We're going to go ahead and delete this one. And we're just going to rename the other one. So this one I will call Greeting. I will rename it here. Go ahead and select the name of the file. And as you can see there, we're now set up to start writing. I'm going to go ahead and delete the text that is there. And I'm going to go ahead and paste my very, very simple Hello World smart contract. There's a few things here to call out. Note that we are specifying the version of the compiler. The blockchain world moves fast, and so you need to pay attention to that as you're deploying contracts. The other thing is we are starting off with a contract definition, and we have a single function called world, and it returns simply hello world. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we want to compile it and make sure that it does compile. And as you can see, that was successful. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the deployment environment. Now, there's three ways in general when it comes to this editor in which we could compile. We could do it within a simulated environment within the page. That's JavaScript VM. Then the injected W3, and that is referring to tools such as MetaMask. And in this case, that refers, in fact, to MetaMask. And the third one is if you were running a local blockchain or some other blockchain environment that you wanted to connect to, you could select that one. Now, in this case, we're going to go ahead and select Web3. The injected Web3, and we're going to go ahead and go back to MetaMask simply to verify the information of this network. As you can see here, we are on the Rinkeby test network. We are on an account that I have labeled as Alice. You can see here the beginning of the account address, which is 0x7f89. It has 5 Ether. And I'm going to go ahead and switch to that injected Web3. And you can see here that I am asked for confirmation. This is for privacy purposes. I'm going to go ahead and connect. And in a moment, we should be able to see the account address. And yes, we can see it there, 0x7f89, as we expected. Now, as you can see here, it has recognized the contract that we're trying to deploy. And now I'm going to go ahead and select the deploy button. And if everything goes well, this should deploy to the network. You can see here I'm being asked to confirm. This is now going through. In a few moments, we should get a notification if this was successful. As you can see there, that contract has in fact gone through. You can see here it is now. We have a list of deployed contracts. And if I click on the function world, which is this one, we should see back a hello world. And yes, we do. We can see there the number of bytes coming back. It is in this format because the return data type that I specified was bytes 32. Now, if I want to go ahead and see that string, I could change this to string. Make sure I remove the right amount. String memory. And then going to make sure that this compiles. The compilation went through. Then I'm going to go ahead and deploy once more. We click on the button, wait for the window to come up. We'll scroll down and click on the confirm button. In a moment, we should see the contract come up. Yep, I moved the window a little bit, but now that the contract has gone ahead and been confirmed and deployed, you'll see that there's another one. And the reason for that is that there is no append. Everything is a new, or I should say, there is no editing of the records that are on blockchain. So in order to make a change to your contract, you have to deploy a new one. It is append only. There's no edit of the old one. So we can go ahead and execute this now. And you can see there that I get back what I expected, the hello world string. And so this has been a deployment of a small contract that we wrote on an online editor. And it's important to note where it is that we are deploying to. As mentioned before, we could have done it to the local environment using a VM. We could have done it to MetaMask through the public Ethereum blockchain, which is what we did. And we could have also connected to a custom server, which we did not do. So we're going to connect to Etherscan simply to take a look at the contract here. We can do it through our MetaMask tool. If I go ahead and select the option here, you can see that this is my transaction details. You can see here the link to the contract. We could navigate through and see the details of the contract. But I will leave that up to you. Go ahead and run through this cycle. You do not need to install anything other than Remix, which you should have already. And so this is a pretty easy way to look at the steps of deploying a contract and some of the options and the understanding that needs to be had when it comes to the contract.